occurs to me. It takes young people like you and me to save our community if we agree to just stay at home. Just stay at home. It's something that we've not heard before, but now it matters more. Now it matters more. Now it matters more. Hello to all our friends again. Welcome to episode 2. I'm Lucy Lurgy.
I'm Barney Brack, and we're from Lurgybrack School. Thank you for your emails, your kind and thoughtful work. It's really kept us going when we felt like going berserk.
So buckle up, climb aboard. We've got so much to get through. From maths to music, storytime, science, and Gaelic too.
Don't forget to send your projects, photos, vids and pics to lucybarneylb@gmail.com. Hurry, send them quick.
We're good to go. Enjoy the show. We hope that you all have fun.
But first, here's our principal with a message for everyone.
Hello boys and girls. I hope you're all getting on very well with your homeschooling and remote teaching that's been going on this last 2 weeks. I've heard great reports from your teachers about the work that's being returned, so well done to everybody and keep it up. I know that we'd all prefer to be back in Lurgybrack School and we look forward to when we can be back there. It just isn't possible at the moment, so keep washing those hands and coughing into our elbows and catching our sneezes and tissues like we talked about before, and looking forward to seeing you all again very soon. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you, cheerio.
Hi everyone. We are here in the Letterkenny Town Park waiting on our friend Martin the Martian to arrive to take us on a wonderful adventure.
Can you guess where we're going? Yes, that's right. We're going to explore space and learn about all the planets, stars, and constellations.
What's a constellation?
We'll soon find out.
Hello, hop in. There are 8 planets in our solar system. They are Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and of course Earth. Which planet do you want to visit first?
How about Mercury?
This planet is called Mercury. Mercury is the nearest planet to the Sun. It is very hot in the day and freezing cold at night as it has no atmosphere. Mercury is a rocky planet. Next we have planet Venus. Venus is the hottest planet because its clouds trap the heat. It is also a rocky planet. Then we have planet Mars. Mars is a very dry planet, like a desert. The surface of Mars is covered with a reddish dust. And off we go to planet Jupiter.
Whoa, that's big.
Yes, Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. Jupiter is a gas planet and has a moon called Io. It has many active volcanoes as well. The next planet is Saturn, the planet with the rings. Saturn's shining rings are made out of millions of chunks of ice. From Earth, Saturn looks like a bright yellow star in the sky. Saturn is not the only planet with rings. Uranus also has rings. It is a blue planet, and its rings are made out of dust and ice. Most planets spin upright, but Uranus spins on its side. It may have been knocked over by something crashing into it many, many millions of years ago. And here we have planet Neptune. It has bright blue clouds, which makes the whole planet look blue. The strongest winds in the solar system blow icy clouds around Neptune. And the last planet is, yes, planet Earth. Earth is the third planet from the Sun and has air and water, both of which living things need to survive. So all kinds of plants and animals thrive here. Earth was first made up of one piece of land, but it has now split into 7 chunks called continents. Earth is the 5th largest planet in our solar system.
Could you tell us about the constellations?
Yes, Barney. Outlines of people and animals in star patterns in the sky are called constellations. Astronauts use constellations to find their way around the skies. 2 of the constellations are called the Great Bear and Scorpion.
Let's see if you were paying attention. Can you remember how many planets are in the solar system? Which planet is the largest?
Can you name the planets with rings? Which is the hottest planet?
Here are all the constellations.
What a wonderful trip that was! We know a lot more about space now.
Let's give it a ride.
Ring-a-dong-ding, the clogging a scarlet bululin. Ring-a-dong-ding-a-dong, ring-a-dong-ding, ring-dong-ding. Ring-a-dong-ding, ring-a-dong-ding, the moocher in the scarlet vanakling. Ring-a-dong-ding-a-dong, ring-a-dong-ding, ring-dong-ding. Ring-a-dong-ding, ring-a-dong-ding, it's Julius Jolly Caroline. Ring-a-dong-ding-a-dong, ring-a-dong-ding, ring-dong-ding.
Yaayyyy Vafashti, Mr. Cheevers and Shah. Féidir le versa a comu mar versa cahar. Can you create your own homeschool verse to sing for verse 4 in the song? Go on, give it a go.
La sa gargin. Tá muintir ag obair sa gargin inniu. Tá a lán obair a dhéanú sa gargin glasraí ach inniu tá mé ag tógailt glasraí don dainnéir. Seo iad na rudaí ag fas sa gargin, parsnip, carriage agus turnipi. Tá parsnipi móra agus parsnip ní bega an. Tá carriage móra agus carriage bega an. Tá turnipi móra agus turnipi bega an freisin. Anis tá lán rudaí sa cisean agus bé dainnéir blasta a nacht. Tá na glasraí sa dúirteal anis. Ní fi mé iad agus al bhuaí mé iad. Anis tá sé ré le máin gíre Chur mé iad I potta le golórisce agus chur mé iad an sáin chun cócracht. Tá rééis tamil tá siad ré. Ó tá achras an dahan orm. Ban fi mé tatna vasma dinir. Slán.
Hello boys and girls, I'm just going to do a wee card game that you could do at home, inside or outside, using a deck of cards, and this is called the card suit game. So, first of all we have the spades, and when you see the spades you have to touch your toes and jump up into the air. Then with diamonds you're going to do nice high knees. Hearts, you're going to jog on the spot. And with clubs, you're going to do high jump up into the air as high as you can. So, Nisha's going to demonstrate now how to play the game. Come on over, Nish. So, here's my deck of cards. I'm going to pick one out of my deck, and the first one I get is my spade. So, she's going to touch her toes and jump up to the air. Have to go. Good, try again. Jump down and jump up. Very good. The next card is our clubs. So we're going to do a high jump, jumping up as high as we can up into the air. Off you go. Good. Okay, the next one is our clubs again, our spades. What are we going to do? Touch her toes and jump up. Good. Okay, and the next card I have is the hearts. So when we have the hearts, we're jogging on the spot. Good. And the next card, Nish, is the diamonds. So what's the diamonds one? Do you remember? High knees. Well done. So the older classes can change this up and use whatever little activities they like. They can use the number to do it 6 times, 10 times. The Jack, King and Queen, you can add 10, 15, 20 for those to try the activity that number of times. Give it a go, and we'd love to see some little videos back of everybody giving it a go at home. Well done!
Teddy bear, turn around. Teddy bear, touch the ground. Teddy bear, show your shoe. Teddy bear, how do you do? Teddy bear, climb upstairs. Teddy bear, say your prayers. Teddy bear, turn out the light. Teddy bear, say good night.
Now we are going to hear a wonderful story all about the smartest giant in town. Before you hear the story, here are some exercises for you. A prediction means you can try to guess what happens next. 1. The giant gives away most of his new clothes. Can you predict which item from his new clothes he gives to the animal in need? 2. The giant is so kind and generous, he finds reasons to give away his clothes. Can you find all the reasons in the story?
The Smartest Giant in Town, written by Julia Donaldson and Alex Scheffler. George was a giant, the scruffiest giant in town. He always wore the same pair of old brown sandals and the same old patched up gown. I wish I wasn't the scruffiest giant in town, he said sadly. But one day, George noticed a new shop. It was full of smart clothes. So he bought a smart shirt, a smart pair of trousers, a smart belt, a smart stripy tie, some smart socks with diamonds up the sides, and a pair of smart shiny shoes. Now I'm the smartest giant in town, he said proudly. George left his old clothes behind in the shop. He was about to go home when he heard a sound. On the pavement stood a giraffe who was sniffing sadly. "What's the matter?" asked Giraffe. "It's my neck," said the giraffe. "It's so very long and so very cold. I wish I had a long, warm scarf." Cheer up, said George, and he took off his stripy tie. It didn't match my socks anyway, he said, as he wound it round and round the giraffe's neck. It made a wonderful scarf. Thank you, said the giraffe. As George strode towards home, he sang to himself, my tie's a scarf for a cold giraffe, but look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town. George came to a river. On a boat stood a goat who was bleating loudly. What's the matter? Asked George. It's my sail, said the goat. It blew away in a storm. I wish I had a strong new sail for my boat. Cheer up, said George, and he took off his new white shirt. It kept coming untucked anyway, he said, as he tied it to the mast of the goat's boat. It made a magnificent sail. Thank you, said the goat. George strode on, singing to himself, my tie's a scarf for a cold giraffe, my shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat, but look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town. George came to a tiny ruined house. Beside the house stood a white mouse with lots of baby mice. They were all squeaking. What's the matter? Asked George. It's our house, squeaked the mother mouse. It burned down and now we have nowhere to live. I wish we had a nice new house. Cheer up, said George, and he took off one of his shiny shoes. It was giving me blisters anyway, he said, as the mouse and her baby scrambled inside. The shoe made a perfect home for them. Thank you, they squeaked. George had to hop along the road now, but he didn't mind. As he hopped, he sang to himself. My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe, my shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat, my shoe is a house for a little white mouse, but look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town. George came to a campsite. Beside a tent stood a fox who was crying. What's the matter? Asked George. It's my sleeping bag, said the fox. I dropped it in a puddle. I wish I had a warm, dry sleeping bag. Cheer up, said George, and he took off one of his socks with diamonds up the sides. It was tickling my toes anyway, he said, as the fox snuggled into it. It made a very fine sleeping bag. Thank you, said the fox. George hopped on, singing to himself. My tie's a scarf for a cold giraffe, my shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat, my shoe is a house for a little white mouse, one of my socks is a bed for a fox, but look me up and down, I'm the smartest giant in town. George came to a big, squelchy bog. Beside the bog stood a dog who was howling. What's the matter? Asked George. It's this bog, said the dog. I need to get across, but I keep getting stuck in the mud. I wish there was a safe, dry path. Cheer up, said George, and he took off his smart new belt. It was squashing my tummy anyway, he said, as he laid it down over the bog. It made an excellent path. Thank you, said the dog. The wind started to blow, but George didn't mind. He hopped on, singing to himself. My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe, my shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat, my shoe is a house for a little white mouse, one of my socks is a bed for a fox, my belt helped a dog who was crossing a bog, but my trousers are falling down. I'm the coldest giant in town. Suddenly George felt sad and shivery and not at all smart. He stood on one foot and thought, I'll have to go back to the shop and buy some more clothes, he decided. He turned around and hopped all the way back to the shop. But when he got there, it was closed. Oh no, cried George. He sank down onto the doorstep and a tear ran down his nose. He felt as sad as all the animals he had met on his way home. Then out of the corner of his eye, he saw a bag with something familiar poking out of the top. George took a closer look. My gown, he yelled. My dear old gown and sandals. George put them on. They felt wonderfully comfortable. I'm the cosiest giant in town, he cried, and he danced back home along the road. Outside his front door stood all the animals he had helped. They were carrying an enormous present. Come on, George, they said. Open it. George untied the ribbon. Inside was a beautiful gold paper crown and a card. "Look inside the card, George," said the animals. George put the crown on his head and opened the card. "Your tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. Your shirt's on a boat is a sail for a goat. Your shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of your socks is a bed for a fox. Your belt helped a dog who was crossing a bog. So here is a very fine crown to go with the sandals and gown of the kindest giant in town." The end.
Can you draw a before and after picture of the giant in his new clothes and in his old gown, sandals, and new crown? Can you remember what each animal used? Did you predict the answers? The giraffe got the stripy tie. Can you remember what for? Yes, that's right, to keep his long cold neck warm. The goat got the white shirt to use as a sail on his boat. The mouse got his shiny shoes to use as a house. The fox got his long sock with the diamond on it to use as a sleeping bag. The dog got his belt to use as a bridge over the squelchy bog. Here are some verbs I heard in the story. Can you make up some really cool sentences using these verbs? Sobbing, bleating, squeaking, crying, howling.
The giant found reasons to give away all his clothes until his trousers fell down. Which reason did you think was the best and why? Listen to the story again, up as far as the animals waiting at the door. Can you think of an entirely different ending? Have fun. Oh, and always remember, be kind. Hi, I'm Kiva, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to tune your guitar. This is my guitar, and as you can see, it has 6 strings. I'm going to show you what these strings are called. The bottom one is called E, the second one is called A, the third one is called D, the fourth one is called G, the fifth one is called B, and the sixth one is called E. Now that I've taught you all the strings' names, I'm going to show you 2 chords, D and G. For D, you have to put your middle finger on the last string, which is E, and then you have to put your ring finger on the second string, which is A, and your pointer finger on the third string, which is D. And it will sound like this.
So we're going to do the chord of D. Thanks, Kiva. So this is a fret, and this is a fret, and this is a fret on the neck of the guitar. And the frets are divided by these little straight linear lines. So we're going to go for the chord D beginning on the 2nd fret. So we take our finger up to string number 3. Our next finger goes down to the very first string. So I always say to my students that it's like a sandwich. There's the bread, there's the bread, and the ham is in the middle, but instead of being on this 2nd fret, it's kind of stretching out here to the 3rd fret. It's really tricky, but with practice you can go on D, off D, on D, off D, on D, off D.
You get your middle finger and you put it on the top string, which is also E, and you get your pointer finger and put it on the 2nd string, which is B, and you get your 3rd finger, which is the ring finger, and you put it on the last string, which is also E. And when you get that, it should sound like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it.
The other chord Kiva was showing us is the G chord. And this chord is also a little tricky, but with practice you'll get there. We're starting on the 2nd fret with our first finger on the second last string of the 2nd fret. Oh, that's a lot to remember. The next finger goes on the bottom string right here at the same time as you stretch all the way to the top string with your pinky finger, and this one here has to learn to hover in the air. Let's try the G chord. Oh, I need lots of practice. G on, G off, G on, G off. What was D again? Oh yeah, D off, D off, G off, G off. And with practice, you can change from one to the other.
Today I will show you how to play Happy Birthday on the piano. It's a nice easy song and you can do it all with one hand, your right hand. But before I show you the notes, I'm going to have to explain to you what the block notes are, because in the last line of the song we use B flat. A flat looks like this. It looks like a small B beside the note. And you find B flat by going to B, and then flat is the one before it. So B flat. And if this is another name for a black note, it's a sharp. It looks like when you're playing X's and O's. So if you want to find C sharp, you go find your C, and you go to the one after it or above it. So C sharp. So now I'll show you Happy Birthday. So the notes are C, C, D, C, F, E. So C, C, D, C, F, E. And the fingers are 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2. And the second line is very similar. It's C, C, D, C, but this time it's G, F. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2. So I'll put those lines together, the first two lines. So C, C, D, C, F, E, C, C, D, C, G, F. The third line's a little bit different. It's C, C, and then there's another C, but it's not middle C. It's the C an octave up. An octave is 8 notes, and you play it with your pinky finger, and then A, F, E, D. So 1, 1, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1. And now this is a line where we use the black note, B flat. We use our 4th finger. So it's B flat, A, F, G, F. So 4, 4, 3, 1, 2, 1. I'll put the last two lines together. So C, 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 A, F, E, D, B flat, A, F, G, F. And now when you put those two lines together, it should sound like this.
Hello, how can I help you?
Hello, Peter, and what a lovely shop you have. I really like your grapes and your potatoes and even your huge big homemade cookies. So today, I would like to buy 3 carrots. I have 50 cents. Thank you.
Carrots are 10 cents each and 10 make 30. 50 cents. Take away 30 cents. Make 20 cents. Hello, how can I help you?
Oh, hello, Peter. I have €1. How much change will I get if I buy 1 carrot and 2 parsnips, please?
Carrots are 10 cents, parsnips are 20 cents. 10 and 20 and 20 make 50. €1 take away 50 cents makes 50 cent change. How to make 50 cents? 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 make 50 cents. 20 and 20 and 10 make 50 cents. 10 and 10 and 10 and 10, 20 make 50 cents. This is a 50-cent coin.
Díú fáistí go dé mar táisih, fáilte go dtí má cistín. Iniu, táid chun sláatach a dhéanú le céile. Bé lavacán, gran plúr, sóda rán agus ála ag taistil ut. Dús chur na lavacán agus spúnó beag den ála iste sa bhoghlá. An sin, chur an bhoghlá iste san aghaidh fáid 30 second. Ina dhia sin, fáid spúnach mór den gran plúr agus chur iste sa bhoghlá. Measc achan rud le céile le spúnóg. Tar éis sin fáid spúnóg beag agus chur sód a rán iste sa bhoghlá. Faoi dhearú chur do lava iste sa bhoghlá agus measc achan rud le céile, agus bé sláatach agat. Mai sibh a fáist.
Winter in Austria.
Hello. Currently we are in Landsee in Burgenland. That's about 80 kilometers south from Vienna. As you can see in the back, there's one of the oldest ruins in Europe. And everywhere is snow. Last night it has snowed again, so we had about 20 centimeters more snow than yesterday. It's all fresh snow. As you can see. Now, let's try to find my shoes. And now I show you one of the hobbies of our children when it's snowing.
A favourite hobby for children in Austria is sledding. Johanna is only 3 years old. The snow is 25 centimeters deep. If Johanna measures 101.5 centimeters, how much of her is snow-free. Austrian children also like to build snow people, just like Irish children do. But they also like to build pot people and dress them up with the snow. This is Mr. Bleu, Mr. Dustbin. The snow blaster clears the snow from the driveway so that it is safe to walk and drive. These poles are placed along the roadside to warn drivers where the curbs of the sidewalk are. Thanks, Elizabeth and Johanna. We loved learning about winter in Austria.
Time. Days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. There are 7 days in a week. Sunday is the first day of the week. The last day of the week is Saturday. Wednesday is the 4th day of the week. I go to school 5 days each week. The 6th day of the week is Friday. Today is Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Tomorrow will be Thursday.
The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and God in heaven, hear my prayer. Keep me in the love and care. Be my guide in all I do. Bless all those who love me too. Amen.
Is taxi så här till passing taxi go här.
Honina karma geni Don stua
Dansa waya, dansa waya. Nishin en rodule way, and nisha she tarta, and nisha she tarta, and nisha she tarta.
Le doche sinar gri Lenar mieta tamach kon kli Lenar dini wantra Achasmajri Shin arnoran doche Shin arnoran doche Shin arnoran